that shows predictive programming into the events that are going to be leading up into the election. And this is like right here, the Bipartisan Commission on Biodefense, a video clip they released that alludes to something. Biodefense film predicts new threats. And we're going to just go ahead and let you see. And the person that's up there was supposed to be Biden. And we just went through the scenario where we don't even believe Biden is back. A lot of you don't even believe this is the real Biden. Neither do freaking I. But check this clip out. It goes into how these predictive events are really going to be breaking down, and we can decode something from this.
The Bipartisan Commission on Biodefense presents a Trailer Studios production, Biodefense. From the makers of National Security comes a biological thriller that demands preventative measures.
Yes. Look, my administration takes biothreats very seriously. Now, in the last 5 decades, there have been more than 42 million deaths due to outbreaks, not to mention the devastating economic impacts of threats to our food.
Now, we will continue our surveillance and detection protocols, and biological warfare intel will remain a top priority.
The mysterious illness that continues to spread across the United States has now reached the top as the president has slipped into a coma. The vice president is now in command.
It's spreading throughout the Northeast, and we can expect infections across the entire country in less than a week.
Mobilize all available medical countermeasures.
Roger that.
Do we know who's responsible for coordinating these attacks?
Not yet. But the virus doesn't care who released it. It's moving without discretion, and it's moving fast.
We need to move faster.
Critics are calling Biodefense a film no one saw coming. It's full of measures that demand attention. It's the most preventative film of the year. This fall, proactively prepare for a biological threat that might not seem very likely, but needs to be taken seriously. Biodefense, measures to defend against biological threats.
So the actual Bipartisan Commission released that. That's not something that is just put out on some cartoon. This is what they're doing. So it makes sense now why the military got those portable pathogen detectors. And check this out. Biden did get sick. Biden did go to the hospital. And we don't know if he's alive right now, but in 2022, all we know is that Biden was the same height as Netanyahu. And then now the dude is like taller than Netanyahu. So they were planning for something biologically to be released, and maybe they did get him sick with something. They showed in the film just now that he got sick. That's what happened. They went to his house. They sent the helicopter there. And now the dude is 6'3" or something, or 6'2". He was 6 foot to be exact, and he's not 6 foot to be exact anymore. And so they're telling us that a pandemic is coming. They're telling us that during the election point, and then there's other things the FBI drilled for I'm going to show you too. Check this out. This was supposed to be Illuminati playing card where Trump's ear gets shot. It looks exactly like the scenario at hand. Now, this biohazard event is another story that they have not, even today, we told you we was breaking the story before anybody else, but they have not come out and officially told us anything about what's going on. This plays into the storyline at hand. All they said was there was one passenger who became ill and a bunch of people started throwing up and everybody else asked for masks. We had the audio and the video yesterday from the airlines. In that video of predictive programming, that's not the only predictive programming. We've seen more predictive programming in the Olympics. And we'll get back to the pandemic thing because they just put in 667. They didn't want to say 666 because now they're starting to say 667. More predictive programming. We're finna get into it. Check this out right here, the 667. Since they just showed us that video clip of that pandemic coming around the election time is when they want it to happen. They already did the Biden part. Now they got to do the other part. And I'll show you what the FBI also is going to be doing. They know exactly the date now. We figured it out because at first they said we got to go behind closed doors and figure out a specific date with the Biden-Harris administration. Now they've come out with a date. They say these funds will go through 2026. 2 billion resource mobilization goal. The fund will go through 2026, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen announced Wednesday. So these are private sectors supporting this, philanthropies, that's Bill Gates, civil societies, and all this other crap. Now, the more strange part, you dive deeper than that. Like we said, the story came out just yesterday, biohazard, people all sick on the plane. Moving forward, though, with the Olympics, they actually showed a depiction here of what they see in a predictive event. Here's more predictive programming for you. Check it out on screen right here. You need to know all this before it's done. And you see on screen here, look at what you're seeing. What are you seeing there? Tell me what you see. Tell me what you think this predictive programming is about, and then I'll give you what I think it's about. Because we got the Statue of Liberty here. We got a spy balloon going past the Statue of Liberty. This was at the Olympics. And we have the Statue of Liberty looking beat up, looking bad. So what this is, and I want to see your comments, what you believe it is one or two things here. One, we're basically seeing here a prediction of America falling. The Statue of Liberty being basically destroyed almost, and the collapse of civilization. And as we say that, and we were talking about November and how this whole plan is bipartisan defense video we just showed. You missed it if you just tuned in. You'll watch it after it's over with. And it says it's an election year in which Joe Biden will square off against Donald Trump. Time for another pandemic? ? Biodefense, this commission is composed of the various Washington, D.C. career politicians who strongly align with various players, institutions, and biopharmaceutical complex. Moving forward from that, actually you get that information, and then we move into this. What are they saying? The experts, terrorism expert says political violence likely ahead of November election. Oh, how do you know that? How do you know that at all? But that predictive programming from the Olympics also has Russia's moving a permanent military base just announced into Cuba. A permanent military base has moved some more ships in recently. And this sets the stage for everything they want to be set. Now, here's the inside setup game plan, though. If you listen to this is something nobody actually is even talking about. How do I know? Because I'm constantly looking into this stuff myself and not looking at other people's pages. I just do my own research. The FBI did a drill for this election scenario. They knew Biden was going to be gone too. When you listen to this article I'm going to read, they knew he would be gone. They even admitted in New Jersey, Delaware, Idaho Guard conduct interagency training. So they drilled with the FBI, who's so corrupt, who's running most of the operations behind Secret Service, FBI corrupt. New Jersey, Delaware, Idaho National Guard participating in interagency chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear high-yield explosive training with the FBI and state local law enforcement. This was March 25th to 28th, but the timeline is perfect right now. Check it out. In the training scenario, FBI had just received intelligence that a domestic terrorist group had planted bombs, including one with cesium-137 radioactive isotope, as more than 10,000 people are about to converge on Cure Insurance Arena in Trenton to listen to the vice president. So the vice president, they say, that's Kamala Harris, basically. The entire structure has been searched, from catwalks crisscrossing above the floor in rooms, suites, the concession stands and service areas, the joint biological, radioactive, high-yield explosive characterization mitigation course brought together soldiers and airmen from New Jersey National Guard. So check it out. They're saying that after the Biden situation, predictive programming, we just seen that, I showed you the video. Now predictive programming, the vice president is speaking and there's explosives everywhere, and they're trying to so that's probably like the next false flaggy scenario here. And this is really crazy. It's all playing out this way because most of this right now we're seeing, they're already pre-scripting us to prepare for this situation during the election. So y'all understand, they love using these timelines. Doesn't matter if we're political or not. So I'm definitely not political, but they like to use these timelines to then pre-script the next events and start telling us right into our face. Here's another thing that you need to see though. And this was these are militias right here that's in areas of Virginia, I believe. Here's the next thing that they've been doing though. They came up in the Olympics and they had the hooded dude who was on the horse, which was the fallen angel dude. I told you, because they have a lot of these guys just like this sitting by stargates. You can look up Stargate Capernaum and you'll see they have these hooded figures just like this. And he's carrying a flag. This is some type of a death cult ritual. Check out what they have on the other side here. It's a bull with horns with just a head over there. And like we told you, in August, they basically called upon one of their fallen gods. And he's connected to Lucifer. His name is Astaroth. And in August is when they push massive spiritual attacks. I did a video of Demonic Olympics and I talk about that, so I'm not going to talk about it all here. Just wanted to give you a little pre-scripted storyline of what's in that video, because that'll be what you should watch next. Moving to though, what is this we're talking about here? The people of Crete, however you say it, like those of many others ancient societies, recognize the bull as a symbol of strength and probably believe that the bull's blood has certain magical properties. So this was a magic ritual, and obviously they worshipped some of them as well. So moving forward here, as we just seen what happened in the Olympics and how crazy that got, we did have another sign that just showed up in our atmospheres as well. This is just happening yesterday. So right around the Olympics, which these dragonflies were seen all on Rhode Island Beach. And dragonflies are not pestilence. This is dragonflies are supposed to symbolize a new beginning, spiritual change, guidance from God. So the fact that this was saw as well right after all the demonicness shows you that it's just God showing the signs as well as we move into these crazy times. Just don't forget how powerful we are and how much protection we have. We're going through all this crazy and amazing stuff and also dangerous stuff, but these are times that create some of the most magnificent, great people, and freedom will prevail in the hearts, minds, spirits, and souls of us all, long as we continue to push forward and never bow down to tyranny.